Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Chad here with BetHubb.com. Once again, I'm absolutely livid at Roger Goodell and the way he continues to make his decisions with the entire Bountygate scandal that's dated all the way back to the beginning of this year. We know that the hearings are set to come out for the appeal on October 30th. But before we get to just that, there's some very interesting news that came out today from a former player by the name of Jimmy Kennedy, who is listed as one of the key players that provided Goodell with his evidence to come after these players, suspend and fine them. He said today in an article at ProFootball.com that none of this is true and that Goodell is lying and making all this up. Goodell claims that he had several long conversations with the NFL, spilling the beans and giving them all the details, which included a conversation with Anthony Hargrove, something that Walker vehemently denies. He said that he's great friends with Anthony Hargrove, and there's not a chance that they spoke about something of this nature. And all these extended conversations that went on for a long period of time where Goodell could gather all this information, he said he has talked to the NFL for a grand total of 1 minute, 30 seconds apiece in two different conversations. And in those conversations, he said absolutely nothing. He denied everything and said he was unaware of such events taking place. So how on earth can there be two people telling two completely different stories? Well, you guys know who I'm going to be taking the side of here, and that is Jimmy Kennedy. Because in order to put allegations and accuse somebody of something of this nature, there needs to be concrete evidence, which is quite clear has not been there from the get-go. Do you think it's a coincidence when this was brought in front of a federal judge to look at it, he was the one that pointed at Goodell and said, we don't see where the evidence is. You need to do a better job of bringing it up. Do you not think someone that has been put in position in our society to overlook large legal situations would come out and make this comment? Is making this up? Absolutely not. And that's why it's an absolute joke today that he has anointed Paul Tagliabue to look over everything here on October 30th. What, do you really think that Paul Tagliabue is going to have an objective standpoint on this? We're talking about the person who was the previous commissioner before Roger Goodell. It's going to be as subjective as it gets. He is handpicking someone that is going to give him the exact result that he wants because he was in the same shoes as Roger Goodell, working for the owners and what they want. He is someone that made the similar type of salary and pretty much trained Goodell to come and take over for him. This is an absolute joke. If you want to have a fair hearing, you have to take someone that has no affiliation to the NFL, no affiliation to the owners, or the players for that matter, that can have a far more objective standpoint on all this. It really is just an absolute joke, and it's Goodell continuing to want to flex his muscles and rule with an iron fist and show all the power he has and have absolutely zero regard for having proper justice in this entire process, and it drives me nuts. Especially when you find out today that there's another story that comes out that the NFL now knows that there was knowledge of Reggie White back in his playing days having bounties himself. And no one can honestly say that they're shocked by this. As you guys know, I've been very adamant from the get-go that I see nothing wrong with these bounties that were placed on Favre or whoever it was back when these came from. At the end of the day, this is football. Like Ray Lewis said, football is getting hit, man. These guys know the danger and the risks that come along with it when they sign up to play this game and get paid millions of dollars to do so. And you're trying to tell me that you don't think this has been going on for 30 or 40 years? Absolutely it has. Excuse my cough in this long-winded rant. The bottom line here is, it just so happened that Goodell wanted to come down hard on this right now. And I believe the only reason for that is due to the fact that there's been a lot more lawsuits put on the league from former players and will be from current players moving forward, because now they're claiming that their life after football is not acceptable, and because of football having negligence in terms of explaining to them the dangers, they want to come after them. So now if Goodell tries to show to the public that he's doing something about this and trying to clean it up, it makes it much harder for a judge at a later date to rule in favor of the players versus the owners, because they're taking all measures to protect themselves and clean up the game. Give me a break. They knew this has been going on for years, and does it really matter if someone's paid in cash? The bottom line is, if someone gets hit and injured, who cares what the incentive is? If they're down and out and hurt, they're down and out and hurt. That's why I can't stand all of this. Roger Goodell's an absolute putz the way he's dealing with this, trying to put Tagliabue in place and try to make up these little lies and angle these players into making them make comments that they probably didn't make. I'd like to see him prove what Jimmy Kennedy said, because why would someone come out and vehemently deny something when if the accusations of this nature put on them, if they actually were true, because they're trying to defend themselves. They have integrity, someone like Jimmy Kennedy. Generally, when someone's accused of something and they know they didn't, they don't really respond like a Lance Armstrong or Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens. These guys all just sort of just say, oh, we don't really know, we'll let the courts deal with it. They don't come out angry like this and straight up deny it. That's my point in all this. I can't stand Goodell. Let these guys play. If you want to have someone look at the appeals, get someone who's not involved with football, or at the very least didn't have the same job as you. Chad here with BetHubb.com, losing it once again with another huge rant towards this loser and the way he's dealing with everything.